I will call this meeting to order. This is the regular Housing and Redevelopment Authority meeting. And first thing on our agenda is approval of the minutes of the special concurrent HRA and City Council work session of September 15th, 2014, and the regular HRA meeting of the same date, September 15th, 2014.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. And then we have need to approve the agenda. Is there a motion?
I so move.
Second? Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. And then we have a presentation regarding the housing market plan. And
Good evening, everyone. My name is Kate Aitchison. I'm one of the housing specialists here. I'm going to talk to you tonight about our efforts to better market our HRA housing programs to the city and the residents. Bill Shadid is also here. He was our marketing consultant this last year, so he'll be here to answer their questions at the end. Kind of an intro and overview. We started this process about a year ago. The HRA approved the contract with Bill in August of last year. The cost of the process is about $14,000, but has been budgeted through the HRA's new initiatives fund within the marketing account, both last year and this year. The main goal of this process has been to increase the awareness of and participation in our programs, as well as better understand the perceptions of the programs and identify needs for new programs. I mean, we mainly want to know, do people know about our programs, and are they serving, are they meeting? An overview of the process, we started with focus groups last fall, and then went on to develop customer profiles and pain points. We identified key benefits of our programs, and then launched into developing a marketing plan, which is mainly made up of objectives, strategies, and tactics. And then, of course, implementing the plan is always the last part. So to just kind of give you an overview of the focus group, they were held last fall. We had 2 of them, and each had 8 to 10 Richfield homeowners. We made sure it was diverse in terms of the age of the person, gender, how long they'd owned their home, their income level, and remodeling experience within their home. And the main findings we pulled from those focus groups were that Richfield, to our focus group participants, is a trusted small town oasis. People really felt like they could come to the city and get the information they needed, and they felt we offered very valuable services, and they were accessible. They also believed that housing programs were well liked, but mostly unknown. They liked the idea of them, but they weren't aware of our programs in detail. They also understood the benefits of these programs and supported them. The marketing of housing programs they felt needed to be mixed across different methods of marketing, new and old, and that our messaging should really focus on those key benefits and be both aspirational and informational, but mostly they should be simple. I have 2 video clips to share with you from our focus group. So the first, you'll want to look at the man in the front with the blue sweatshirt. He's going to talk about how he feels about working with Richfield.
How do I get onto that? Oh,
Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The videos, or the
push it again, Dora. Oh, you got it.
the
Okay.
volume's
You
a
got
little
it.
low, so
Yeah.
I have it up as
Person by the city, what makes that more credible?
Well, just in general, I think Richfield city services are pretty well run, and it's kind of small enough that you feel like you can have a real connection to it. You're not going to get lost in a big bureaucracy, and it almost has a feeling like you're touching base with somebody that type of, rather than going to a big institution like a government thing that can feel intimidating. So.
Okay, great.
So he said it feels like you're touching base with somebody you know. And the takeaway there is that, we try and cut down on the bureaucracy. There's less hassle, and it's easy to navigate coming into City Hall. The second clip, you'll want to listen to the man in the yellow sweater.
No, I'm not on Twitter. I'm not on Facebook. I don't have the cable for the TV. I don't have the accesses that way.
Yeah.
I'd like to see buildings over these many, many years with the water bills to tell me something, or the publication that comes out periodically from the city.
Yep.
I want them to tell me something, especially the new things that are out there. I don't seek out the website because I've got enough things happening that I don't get into that. Maybe it's my age or what.
So Roger doesn't use Twitter. He's not going on the website. He's not on Facebook. He wants us to give him the information. That's an example of where we need to be really direct in how we deliver the messages to people, and especially the new information. So from those focus groups, we developed customer profiles and pain points, and these are kind of our prototypes. So these are the people we're really gonna try and look towards as we develop our new marketing. So newer homeowners, they're in their house maybe just a couple years, and there's a lot to do. It's overwhelming. And they don't have a lot of experience, so they don't quite know where to start. Longer term homeowners, they might not seek out the information, they might not know about the newer programs, but they do have more experience. The common difficulties for everyone across the board was financing their projects, hiring contractors, making decisions, scoping their projects, and even just figuring out how to start. The key benefits that we learned, these are the things that really resonated with people. The first three are the most important. We provide resources. We help them save money, and we help provide expert remodeling advice. Those are the things we're really gonna try and focus on as we market to people in the future. The other things that were important, we help build confidence, we offer comprehensive programs, we help people get projects done, make remodeling easier, and produce a stronger, more desirable community. So those will all be things that, that flow into the marketing efforts in the future. So the plan is a big document that we've developed with Bill, and these are just kind of a few examples. But it starts with goals and our objectives. And so 2 examples of the goals we focused on. One was max out participation in our transformation loan program. We budget for 4 to 6 loans per year. This year we've had 0. So yeah, so that's a goal. It's a tangible goal that'll be easy to measure as we move forward. A more general goal is use new methods to market our programs. So then the next step down is our strategies. How are we going to reach those goals? What are the broad ways we're going to aim towards those objectives? Drive homeowners to action, to participate in our programs, and increase awareness of HRA programs. Then the next level down is the tactics. So those are the specific actions Julie and I will take to try and reach our goals. So 2 examples, develop welcome postcards to send to new homeowners, and provide yard signs for homes using current programs, the people doing the remodeling. This is an example of how the schedule will look. And so on the left, you see the different kind of categories of tactics: social media, online, print, in person, and then the specific tactics that we'll be going through. The red are the top priorities at this point. And then implementation is the final step. So the things we're working on right now is we're finalizing the development of new brochures for our programs. We're going to create new large-scale displays to be taken to events, develop new content for our website, for social media, for articles in the Sun Current, things like that, and then find new places to promote our programs. Yeah?
Is the Richfield?
I don't believe there's a local content person. It seems like it's just filtered from other
I was
sources.
on it and then I disappeared. They disappeared.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was getting it and then I stopped getting it for some, I don't know what reason.
They're still publishing, but there's not a local reporter.
Okay.
Just the last few things, we're gonna get some more training from Bill on how to, best develop the content that we put forward, and then he's available to help us if we have specific needs in the future. So that's kind of the end of where we're leaving, where we're at right now, and if you have further questions, I can answer them, or Bill can.
Yes, go ahead.
I just, thinking of this because I've done some remodeling and I took advantage years ago of a tax break that we had for putting in new windows and doors and everything. That was years and years ago. It was very nice. Have we thought about adding the new brochure when we get it to anybody who signs up for a permit? Because even though they might be doing something small, they might be thinking of something larger, and just giving it to them with the permit. Just one more way to say,
Yeah.
hey, did you remember this? I know I was out door knocking, and I actually gave your phone number, Karen and John, to them, saying, did you guys, they were out there with their saw and everything and doing stuff. I said, did you know that we have loans for very large projects and remodeling? And the wife looked up and the husband goes, you don't have to tell her, kind of thing. So I wrote down your name and number and sent it off to them, so.
Our inspectors are very good about referring us, so our most recent applicant was somebody that Bernie referred to us. But that's a good idea, and we're hoping to better train the rest of the community development staff so that they can know about all of our programs and offer those.
Yeah, when to offer that brochure and say something about if you
Yeah.
think of making this a bigger project or looking for another expansion later
Mhm.
down, yeah.
Okay.
I have a question as well. Katie, the first one will be directed to you, but somebody else will pick up on it. Do you know whether you're on the city website and your
Mhm.
name is there with your phone number and all that good stuff?
Yep.
Okay. Richfield has a lot of unique programs, and we were an innovator in many of these, which is much to the community's credit and something that all of us should be proud of.
Mhm.
But some of them have been picked up and emulated by other communities. Do we know what they are doing to publicize the programs that they have? And so maybe we can get some ideas from them?
Right. Last spring, I believe, we did a session with the Housing Collaborative Institute on marketing. And one thing that really resonated across the board with other cities is annual, biannual, monthly publications and mailings from the city. So that was a way that housing professionals in other cities were able to really disseminate the information about their housing programs. And they focused on that a lot, and that was kind of their biggest push, was in citywide mailings. So newsletters, things like that.
So if I may ask, is there a plan then to do more in Richfield?
We've talked about it. I mean, we've talked about doing some sort of e-newsletter regarding housing. We use the utility bill mailing. That's kind of one of the bigger ones we do. We're starting to do mailings to new homeowners. Another idea is to focus on certain sections of the city each year. It's pretty expensive to do a citywide mailing, but the utility bill insert is pretty economical for us.
Are we also talking to our real estate industry about when they buy and sell homes? Because I go into a lot of these open houses and nobody knows we have all these transformation loans or anything like this. I
Too.
go into these and they have no idea Richfield has all these great programs on the real estate side of things, these agents.
We have a realtor workshop every spring, and we try and educate them.
Yeah,
Every
done
year
that.
they come back and we hammer it home again. So
Mhm.
hopefully they're,
They get their credits and,
yeah.
Are they listening?
mm. Any other questions or comments? All right. So we don't need to take any action on that. You're telling us what you're going to do.
Mhm.
Good. Glad to
There's
hear
more
it.
to come. Huh?
All right. Next one is a presentation regarding the 30-year anniversary of the Richfield Deferred Loan Program. Who is presenting that?
Members of the HRA, I'm Julie Urban, also a housing specialist with the city, and I'm going to just tell you briefly, or talk briefly about, you get it, so, oh, there we go. You just say, about the Richfield Deferred Loan Program. It is 30 years old. In its current conception, it started back in 1984. And so we thought this is a bread and butter program of the HRA. It's not always considered the most exciting, but it is a great way that we are able to help homeowners improve their homes and maintain their homes. And we thought 30 years was worthy of coming and celebrating a little bit about it. So the HRA has really helped homeowners improve their homes since it began back in 1974. So we'll just go over a little bit of the program milestones. From 1974 to 1983, the HRA mostly did home improvement grants, and then homeowners also had access to MHFA deferred loans. But if you look back in the records, staff was concerned about declining state and federal resources and that these kinds of programs weren't going to last. And so it led staff to think that, we ought to make our funds deferred loans so that we can recycle the funds and really get more bang for our buck. So in 1983, the HRA approved guidelines for the deferred loan program. So back then in 1984, the first deferred loans were issued. So just to talk a little bit of the statistics, 342 households have been served with over 382 loans through the program. We've loaned over $4 million. 225 of those loans, 59%, have been repaid. And so that means nearly $1.8 million has been recycled and reinvested in the program. And then we currently have a portfolio of 138 loans, over $2 million. And just to note, Hennepin County administers this program for us and for other communities, and they say, of course, that Richfield is by far the largest program out there. We have the most loans of all those communities, and in fact, I believe that we were one of the first to use our federal, I should say, we use our federal community development block grant funds to fund this program, and we were one of the first to start doing that. So I don't know how many of you are familiar with how the program works, but it is a no payment, no interest loan, and then you repay the loan when you sell your home. Otherwise, it is forgiven after 30 years. And that is what triggered my thought to come talk about it, is that we're starting to have forgiveness. A lot of these homeowners are staying in their homes for 30 years. And so as I bring the releases to the chair to sign, I thought it'd be good to talk about what's going on. You can borrow up to $30,000, and the program is really geared to address health, safety, and property maintenance items. And it is an income-based program, and so it definitely focuses on what the needs are at that income level. We can also do lead-based paint abatement using Hennepin County grant funds, so we're able to leverage other funds through the program. And then we can provide some emergency loans. Federal dollars aren't the easiest way to provide emergency quick loans, but we have managed to make that work. And again, I said it's no interest for households who earn less than 50% of the Twin Cities area median income. So that's, for example, $41,000 approximately for a family of 4. We do charge nominal interest for households that earn between 50 and 80%. That was a change made several years ago, I think, to recognize that just because someone earned 51% of the area median income didn't mean it wasn't hard for them to find funds to repair their roofs. The loans are currently administered by Hennepin County staff. For many years, the city did do that, but it was transferred over to the county back in 2006. So the benefits of the program are that homeowners with limited incomes are able to make needed repairs to their homes, but also that the city's housing stock is maintained for the benefit of the homeowner, the neighborhood, and our future generations. We believe that everybody benefits when people are able to keep their homes maintained. So that's a lot of more the statistics, but I think that the facts don't necessarily tell the whole story, that the program is helping real people, real residents, and members of our community. And so I actually talked to some former staff people who had administered the program and asked them to tell us some stories. And some of them were very colorful, but we sort of summed them down to just say that, first of all, the program has helped many families. There was the working family who struggled to make ends meet, and through our program, we were able to replace windows, siding, and insulation. They were able to maintain their home and reduce their energy costs. And then there was the foster mother that a former staff person remembered. She was caring for high-needs children who were in transition to permanent homes, and the loan allowed her to make basic maintenance and improvements to her home to create a warm and safe environment for those kids who need stability. The program has helped many elderly people stay in their homes. For example, the woman who at 78 years old was on a very fixed income and still working part-time to make ends meet, and through this program we were able to improve her home and really helped her to stay in her home. And then there was the single older woman who, along with her disabled adult daughter, needed emergency help in removing a tree which fell across her driveway along with the neighbor's driveway during a storm. She did not have the resources to take care of that, and this program was able to help her. And then the program has helped many disabled homeowners. There was the middle-aged woman who suffered from MS, which was progressing rapidly. We were able to make accessibility improvements to her home so that she could stay there. And then the man whose mental disability severely limited his income, and we were able to make repairs again that helped him to stay in his home. That without this program, he wouldn't have been able to do that. So, and this is just a map. I thought it was interesting when I mapped where the loans have been made, how it truly is spread throughout the community, and so it is a benefit throughout the community and has helped lots of homeowners and neighborhoods. And I just thought it was worth recognizing and acknowledging the program and what it has done. And I guess to thank you and former members of the HRA for having the foresight to set up the program the way it is so that it could keep going. So, if you have any questions, otherwise, thank you very much.
I would make my normal comment, which is whatever Richfield does, it does well. Thank you for
We
your
try,
efforts.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
I have a
Mr. Stark first.
ahead.
and then-
But
Yeah.
this is a little off script, but since we've got Julie here, could you take just maybe a few seconds to mention Nita's presence in the lobby here?
Oh, sure. We've been working with the Neighborhood Development Association. It's an organization based in West St. Paul, and they were originally formed to help Latino households in West St. Paul, where there is a heavy concentration. And they've found over the years that they get more and more calls from other communities, including Richfield. And so they had contacted us last summer because they were doing a home stretch, a first-time home buyer class here in the community, and just wondered if we knew of any residents who might want to attend. And we said, well, we don't, but we really want to meet with you and talk to you about how you serve Spanish-speaking residents and how we might learn from you. We find that our programs, at least by name, we don't see a lot of Hispanic, Latino names in our program lists, in our loan portfolio, and we don't quite know why that is. And so we thought, can we learn from you, Nita, about that? And so we've worked with them on a variety of things, most heavily on trying to bring our Home Energy Squad Enhanced program to Spanish-speaking residents. And so we've been working with Nita on that. And as part of that, and also just as part of their attempt to connect with residents outside of West St. Paul, they've been having a table here at City Hall on Thursday afternoons from 2 to 5. Nita staff person sits in the lobby and is making contact with people who come into City Hall and about their services. They provide a lot of housing services, first-time home buyer classes. They also can process home improvement loans, and they have financial counseling, and they have now our Home Energy Squad Enhanced program. And so it's a neat partnership that we have formed, just sort of just came serendipitously. And yeah, and so far she hasn't had a lot of customers, but it's new, and she's, we're working on getting the word out. So if you know of people who might be interested, she's here on Thursday afternoons.
Okay. Yes, go ahead, David.
At one time, Julie, the planning department had a big map that showed the houses that got improved in Richfield. Is this the same map, or this is?
No, this is just the deferred loan program. Yeah.
Is that map still around, John?
Yeah, it's euphemistically called Senior Map. I don't know how I got that name.
Yeah.
It gets updated every couple of years, and we bring it out to big community events.
Because it is impressive, the number of houses that have been improved and how the housing stock has been kept viable by all the programs that the city has and the willingness of the citizens to improve their homes.
Yeah, I believe it shows every house that there has been a single improvement project valued at over $10,000. And I think that probably when we redo it next time, we'll up that number to 15,000. But yeah, it's a very impressive map. Whenever we have it at events, people gather around and find their house and find what their neighbors have done, and it shows that relationship that in the neighborhoods where you have one improvement, they flourish, and then in the neighborhoods that are kind of empty, don't have any dots until the first person pioneers doing a project, and then it gives confidence to all their neighbors.
Or until Richfield Rediscovered jumps into the neighborhood, right?
Doris?
Julie, perhaps you're not getting the traffic for your neighborhood development partnership project because you're not where they are. Going over to talking with the folks at Annunciation or the Mira program, that might be a better traffic area.
Well, Assumption, yeah. She has connections with Ruth over at Assumption, and she has talked about having hours there as well. I think that coordinating was complicated, and we've always been really eager and willing to have her provide services for us. And so she's trying different things, but you're right. She is aware of that connection.
Okay, I'd like to talk with you after the meeting.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Madam
Yes, go
Chair.
ahead.
Just thinking of and being outdoor knocking and stuff and seeing some homes that have some deferred maintenance, is it possible when we come up to those that we could recommend some way to some of them. I'm thinking of one specifically on Portland that needs a new roof. If there's a way we can recommend to them that there's programs to help them, because I know some of those people are seniors.
Yes, Julie and Kate have developed brochures, and with Bill's advice, those are going to get updated, but we have the old ones, we will have new ones, and we can always make sure you've got copies of those that you can leave with people.
Well, yeah.
Or we will help you however you want us to, I guess
Okay.
is what I
'Cause
would
I'm
put.
just thinking of some, I'm just trying to get, some of these houses that we've seen some issues with, and I know some of them just don't have money to
Right.
do this, and they probably don't know that we have this here.
No, and that's too where our inspectors, we really want to make sure our inspectors know what's available, so that if they're out citing somebody for their garage roof,
Yes.
that it's not just the hammer.
Yeah, it's
It's the
like, here, did
hammer,
you know
know,
we
it's-
have this?
Yeah.
I will say
okay.
for several years, we had quite a long waiting list. We had over 20 households, so we weren't very good about advertising because we didn't want to tell them, there's this program, but, oh, you're gonna have to wait 2 years. But we've since had a lot of repayments. People have been able to sell their homes again
Okay.
with the housing market. And so we do have money available now, but so we can certainly get you some brochures, or if you
Good.
want to let us know who we should target.
Yeah, Doris?
In my neighborhood, the problems of home maintenance largely are in rental houses. And this project doesn't relate to rental housing.
No.
And that, to me, is an equally important issue, because when we have a high density of rental housing, which we do in the Richfield Lake neighborhood, it really is a blight on the neighborhood, and I do not know if the housing inspectors, what kind of pressure they can put on the landlords, but that is something that I think really needs to be addressed somehow.
Okay.
I think it's a great idea, and we can,
Mhm.
the way we would tackle something like that would be to revisit it at council's goal setting, and then it would find its way into next year's budget to program something like that.
Okay. Thank you. Appreciate you
Yeah,
being
thank
here.
you for your.
Mr. Devich, our consent calendar.
Thank you, Chair Sandal, members of the HRA. The consent calendar, for those in the audience, sometimes contains several separate items which are acted upon by the HRA in one motion. And then once the consent calendar has been approved, the individual items and the recommended actions would also have been approved, and no further HRA action on those items would be necessary. Tonight, we have one item on the consent calendar, and that is consideration of the approval of a resolution accepting monetary support solicited for the 2014 Richfield and Bloom Award. And that concludes the consent calendar.
I'll move the consent calendar.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, motion carries. Item number 6, Mr. Devich.
Thank you, Chair Sandal. Item number 6 is consideration of an amended contract with TMS Construction for the demolition of 7308 10th Avenue. And Karen Barton is going to make this presentation to the HRA.
Thank you, Chair Sandal, Commissioners. In August 2014, the Housing and Redevelopment Authority acquired a property at 7308 10th Avenue. The HRA plans to demolish the existing substandard structure and make the lot available for new home construction through our Richfield Rediscovered program. The house is currently vacant and has been remediated. And to reduce potential risks, holding costs, and negative impact to any of the surrounding neighborhood, the house should be demolished as soon as possible. The HRA approved a contract with TMS Construction on August 18th, 2014 for the demolition of 7029 Nicollet Avenue. Staff is proposing to amend the contract with TMS to also include the demolition of 7308 10th Avenue for an additional $9,100. Staff has had a lot of difficulty getting reasonable bids from qualified demolition companies for small demolition projects. As the economy's improved and construction is moving forward, the demolition contractors are very busy. Based on conversations that we've had with demolition companies, adding the demolition of 7308 10th Avenue to the original contract with TMS is the most cost-effective way to get the house demolished in 2014. Our Public Works has used TMS Construction for demolition previously and has given them a good recommendation. So we feel comfortable in using them. And they have agreed to do this additional amendment in the contract for $9,100. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Okay, go ahead.
Have we followed this procedure in the past where we've added one contract onto another? Or is this a new thing, or?
We have not done this previously. This is a new thing, and it's based largely on the fact that we've had a lot of difficulty getting bids at all on
Okay.
any of our demolition.
Thank you.
Is there a motion?
I so move.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve an amended contract with TMS Construction for demolition of 7308 10th Avenue. Any further discussion?
Looks like somebody ought to start up a demolition company. They'd make a lot of money.
They didn't want to do a special rate for having a twofer?
2 for 1.
Looks like a special.
I think that was special, right?
That is.
Aren't both houses the same price, or am I reading the screens wrong?
I think they were slightly different because they're different homes, different sizes.
Okay, any further comments or discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. All right, next item is HRA discussion items. Anyone have anything to bring up? I was just commenting, there is a benefit in demolition, as we can see. It's much easier to visualize a new house on a vacant place or a new townhome development on vacant land. So go for it. All right. Anything else? If not, then Executive Director, any report?
Chair Sandel, members of the HRA, I really don't have any report this evening.
Okay. Claims and payroll.
So moved.
Second.
I'll
All in-
second. Oh, you already, okay.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. And I think we may have missed a signature on the claims and payroll report. Do we have 5? Or are we short one? We got them all? Okay, good. Thank you. All right.
Okay.
Having no further business, we stand adjourned.